This is going to be a bit of a weird video, and it's kind of like off of topic for what I usually talk about, isn't it? Yes, exactly, it is. But, um, it, I guess you could say it's connected because some of the people that make me think of this has to do with people that had to do with race of some sort um, the way I heard of the person was from them discerning what black and white was. And it was weird because they weren't even for this country and they weren't even black. So it was just odd. But anyway, that's a whole different story. I'm not making this video on that, and I'm not going to talk about that. I am just talking about basically some things I saw on some articles and some videos I was just watching, basically, and it bothered me. Some things that bother me in these situations is the constant intersection of things that's just weird to me. Like, for example, so the first video I'm watching, this lady is talking about sexuality of somebody who's having an issue. They've been having an issue with their sexuality and whatever's going on over there for a long time, probably since they're born. I don't know. And I do not get why this happens. Why do transsexuals, when we're talking about homosexuality, start bringing in their transsexuality? Like, to me, it's like odd because it's like, now, I thought that we were always supposed to just see you as straight, right? But then you start talking about your transsexuality, and it weirds me out because it's like, um, now, how do the two have to do with each other? I mean, the more we associate homosexuality with transsexuality, the more problems we have because it's not supposed to be seen similarly. So that bothered me in itself. And I understand some people like to use like religion and all that stuff with transsexuality and stuff. But the reason transsexuality is an issue with religion is because of the association with homosexuality. So, for example, I understand there's so many transsexuals, and this is what bothers me some bit, is that so many transsexuals who are from the lesbian community or the gay community pre-transition will associate with that more often. And it's like, that's, if we're really dealing in reality, I mean, the situation, you would see yourself not as gay or lesbian because you are a man or a woman. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you really feel the way you feel about yourself, then you won't really interject yourself. And I mean, like with religion and things of that nature, I'm like, to me, if you are a person who is, for example, you are transgender, but you are asexual, for example, your sexuality has nothing to do with religion because religion doesn't care if you're not with anyone. You know what I mean? Most religions don't care if you're not with anyone. So, I mean, like, it's just odd to me to bring in transsexuality when we're talking about things to do with like homosexuality and we're talking about religion and things of that nature. To me, it's just odd, you know? And after that, it was again another time I was just reading an article, and then we're talking about the same thing of gay people and other issues with the sexuality or whatever, and then we're talking about transsexuals. And to me, it's like, well, why did we have to bring up transsexuals when we were just talking about homosexuality? Like, why is there a constant correlation here? Like, it had nothing to do with transsexuality. It really annoys me when we bring this up. It really does. So I just feel like people don't. like people say that transsexuality is its own thing. You know, gender identity is not the same thing as sexuality. But then actions speak louder than words, in my opinion. And when you bring up other topics of sexuality and then just inject like issues of gender identity with it, it kind of like asserts that you don't actually see the two as different when they are literally different, two different topics. Um, I wanted to also touch upon, and this is going to be a quick video, honestly. I wanted to talk about one other thing, and I kind of feel like people do not. I don't know how to present this really, honestly. But people do not really realize how how a lot of people are messed up, you know, and they always confuse them for people who are trans or people who are gay. I mean, there are normal people, you know, good people who are trans, good people who are gay, you know. We've got to confuse mental patients for gay people or mental patients for transgender people, and I never understand that. I mean, like, if we understand someone has been fucked up or whatever, and they're a messed up individual, why are we asserting or acknowledging whatever they're claiming they are? If they're claiming they're gay or they're claiming they're trans, to me, it's like, what does that? Why are we even trying to acknowledge this at this point? You know what I mean? Like, they're obviously a very messed up individual, and I mean, like, if they didn't have the mental illness or the other problems they got in their lives, we don't know what would be going on with them. They probably would have maybe not even, they might not even be here at this point, you know. So, I mean, to me, I just think that honestly, I just think there needs to be a divide between people who are actually normal gay people and normal transgender people and people who aren't. And that just is all around the board. And I mean, like, I'm talking about a specific thing, obviously, but I don't really want to name what I'm talking about because I kind of feel embarrassed in talking about it. So I'm just not going to really address who or what I'm talking about. But I've seen some individuals that were like that, honestly. And they weren't like they weren't like they weren't with the same kind of problems, basically. You know, they maybe they don't say the same things, they don't say the same words, they don't have the same ideas, they don't have the same, you know, way of life, you know. But at the same time, it's the same thing over again. It's like the same movie you've seen just on a different person. You know what I mean? It's just like, to me, like, I don't understand why we don't understand that, you know, not every human being who's not straight is normal. You know what I mean? Like, you can admit straight people are abnormal, you know. You can admit that someone who's straight is mentally ill. They have been abused, they have been traumatized, you know. But if you admit that on the other end, you are seen as something like you're a bigot or something of that nature. I'm not saying all are, but I'm saying some are. And I'm like, to me, when someone seems like they're a messed up individual, I don't care what their sexuality is. To me, I'm just like, if you're a messed up individual, you're a messed up individual. You're fucked up. And I don't really understand why we even need to address or focus on what someone's personal preferences are. So that's all I have to say on that. I've devoted 10 minutes to this, and that's all I'm going to use. I want to talk about something else. So, thanks for listening. Bye.